Hey there, Internet. Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars and Keeve YouTube channel. In this video, we're going over the newest rendition of the RealYou foam cannon. And I don't know what you quite want to call this. It's a metered foam cannon. That's what it is, really. There's a metering tip in here that limits the flow of the soap going in, so you don't have to use a big bottle of diluted chemical to get what you want. You can put your chemicals straight in here. This one, I tested off screen because I didn't want this video to be about all the, the dilutions and all that kind of stuff and the different viscosities of soaps that go with this. I have two other videos. I'll link them below. The Raincovo Pure Pro Foam Cannon and the other RealYou are basically the same thing, but one had a knob, an adjustment knob, and the original of this did not have an adjustment knob. And they both fed from the top. So now a lot of people who are complaining they didn't want to move it up and move it down, you can now use this. So for me, I use Incredible Suds. And if I want to use Incredible Suds straight in here and not dilute it, which is the goal, we don't want to dilute anything. We want to just put straight chemicals in here and then use the tips to get the dilution we want, or the turn knob to kind of adjust that. And with Incredible Suds, you have to use the bigger of the ones that comes installed in it because it's so thick, it doesn't feed through the smaller one that comes in here. And this is the Raincovo. As you can see, they're the exact same thing. It's much lighter than using a full foam cannon with liquid in it. You have 32 ounces of liquid versus just about 3 ounces of liquid. So much lighter, easier to work with. Like I said, outside of color, they look identical except for one thing. In order for this cap to be able to draw with a straw, there needs to be a vent. So they had to add one of these little rubber pieces down here. It's basically a little diaphragm or whatever you want to call it. The little insert, rubber insert, it's on an MJJC foam cannon that doesn't leak, or a griot, it's at the top, that little rubber insert and those holes. That's exactly what this is. They put that in there and then they added a straw. You're gonna say, Keeve, that don't look like a straw that comes in a listing. Well, it's not. Well, because mine didn't come with the straw. It is on this little instruction manual. It's called a pipette. Now I thought maybe that's gonna be a problem across other people's purchases, and it could be, but in the reviews, and I've talked to a couple people who already have one of these, they got the little pipette. I had to get a little ingenuitive. I took a straw from a high C bottle and I used it. It's got the same features. We have that quick release piece right here to be able to get to the filter. There's your filter right there. Your adjustment knob is really tight right here. This one I would say is about medium. It's actually not bad tension wise moving. This is another addition from the first version of the RealYou. It's on the Raincovo, is this adjustment knob right here. We're probably gonna put it about right there is what I'm thinking, but we'll have to play it by ear and see. There's your cap, it's dual. So if you do wanna run it upside down, you take the straw out, you can run it this way, and you can fill it up from this way, or you can fill it up from your cap right here. And this is that little rubber piece I was telling you about. That right there. With it being dual cap, you have measurements from 10 to 100. And on this side, you have measurements from 10 to 80, hundreds up in here. Here's my high C straw. There's the metering tip on the inside. It comes with a 1.1, 1.25, but they both measure about 1.15. That's also gonna make it hard on you who have a much more powerful pressure washer that you can't use a 1.1 with, like an AR630 or an Active 2.0. And you're gonna have to find a 1.25 from another source. Maybe your 1.25 fits, but how are you gonna know? I used my pin gauge set, I measured them. The Raincovos were pretty much dead on. The 1.25 was a 1.20, but the 1.1 was dead on 1.1. So I'm gonna have to use the orifice from this one that I use to wash my cars normally with the Incredible Suds in here. And when I turn it upside down and I run it, I could be able to get 3 cars with this bottle, 30 milliliters per wash, which is exactly what I use in my Incredible Suds in a foam can. I put 1 ounce and I fill it up to the top. An Incredible Suds you can get at the House of Rags. Code Cars and Keeve to save you 10%. Like I said earlier, it's the exact same thing. You have your Allen wrench. You change out that metering tip that's on the inside that I showed you. There's the replacement one. There's the other orifice, which is the exact same size. They may be off by like 0.01, but they're basically exactly the same. And they give you a replacement filter. All I want to know is, will this do what this does, but sucking from the straw like this instead of shooting from the top? That's all we're looking for. I've already confirmed off camera testing, everything is the same as the other videos. So before we get any further, don't forget to check out links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. let's have some fun. All right, we got our daily in the background. It actually rained on it, so it's a little wet, but I blew off most of it so that way we can see that initial thickness of the foam to make sure that it's decent foam. And I put 100 milliliters in here. I'm only wanting to use 90, but I'm playing with 10 milliliters just to figure out the thickness that I'm looking for and get it all dialed in. Then we'll start the run of doing the whole vehicle and we'll rinse it off, do the whole vehicle, rinse it off, and try to do 3 full foams of the car with this one container. When you're looking for something like PIR or something like that, I always stick with regular foam cannon because a regular foam cannon can do like 10 to 15 to 1 out of the head with, you know, full liquid. The least this can do is 50 to 1. So it's going to throw everything off. You can figure it out, but it's on you. So in the end, what it really is in the foam cannon is 32 to 1, but as it mixes with the liquid at the top, it becomes 300 and something to 1. And that's basically what we're shooting for here, is to create 300 to 1 out of here out of straight concentrate. All right, let's play with this. I'll play with it on this wheel right here. This max foam. A little skipperoo. There we go. It's not pulling right. It might be the thickness of the soap. I'm going to turn the adjustment down. It's got that little pulse in it. And I had that pulse with the last one. And maybe possibly with the straw. Maybe my high C straw isn't working as well. I don't know. But we'll see as we keep on going if it gets any better. Oh, it got better. Just sputtering a little bit. It is really thick. I'm going to dial that out a little more. Let's see here. Well, that's too light now. Let's go back. Yeah, that's what we'll stick with right there. Make sure we get a nice thick coat on there because we got lots of soap left. We're between 70 and 80, we're at 75. So we only used 15 milliliters of soap to do that entire car once we had the adjustment knob dialed in. That first 10 milliliters, most of that was at full strength and it was going through it pretty quick. You know, some pulsing there, here and there, but it's better now. I think I'm going to take the straw out a little bit and cut a little bit off. I don't know if it's too close to the bottom. Let's see if that's the problem. But we're coated pretty well, except for right there. There we go. Missed the spot. Fair warning of you, if you have a proximity key, it's best to not have it in your pocket when we walk around, so that way it doesn't constantly try to open the rear deck. It doesn't constantly want to unlock and lock the car. Now I was using the Keve nozzle to rinse that off. It's basically a 1/4-inch shower nozzle with a couple of different screens. This is the smaller screen with the 630 turned on. It actually does really well just drenching the car because we're going to foam it again and again. That last foam, I'll probably hit it with the pressure wrench, but these foams, I'm just trying to get it off the surface. Surface is wet, so when the foam goes on, it might go a little bit thinner, but we're not changing anything on the device itself. It's just diluting on the surface with all the water, so we're all good there. I do gotta tell you, it's a lot better having the bottle down at the bottom than having to have it flip up and flip it down and flip it up. Way better. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I cut like a 1/16 of an inch of the straw off because it was touching the bottom of the cap, and now we're not getting any of that cavitation that we were getting earlier. And I'm going to change my spray fan. Now I have about 50 milliliters left. So we used 25 that round. We used 15 the first round, but I went a lot thicker this time around because about 30% of the way through, I changed the dial from a wider fan to a shorter fan. And that just allows you to paint a little more. I felt like, hey, let's not try to be frugal here. Let's just go crazy. And we're still like lots of soap left. So I'm not going to do a fourth time, but this next third time, if there's anything left, I'm just going to keep running it until it's out, just to see if it cavitates when it gets towards the bottom, to see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and do my wheels up with some Maniac wheel and tire cleaner. I'm kind of want to give an update on the IKE Foam Pro 2 for those of you who have had this or have had issues. I've heard there's issues. People in the comments say it's running and not turning off. It never like stops. And then people had gotten replacements and they did the same thing on the replacement. I haven't had that issue. I have 5 of them and all of them are working perfect. I have them in rotation. I constantly leave them on. I constantly pull the pressure valves so they run up just to see if I can replicate it, and I can't. And I bought it from 3 different places. Sky's Limit. I bought them from the Rag Company and Thor. And mine have worked perfect. Maybe possibly I'm so abusive to them that they work. I don't know. Here's our last round of incredible suds. We have about 50 milliliters left. I have it on about halfway turned from max, which is where I would like it to be. It's working pretty good. We're gonna coat it this time. So I don't know what to tell you. We're at like 25 milliliters and I went heavy. I actually turned the dial a little bit closer to max and got even thicker foam. So we're gonna lay it on thick, get a good thumbnail with what's left here. Keep on going. This is full max, by the way. Look at that. Oh, it's sucking it. It's sucking it fast now. So we are all the way to the bottom. It sucks pretty well all the way to the bottom. It's like a mix of soap and water now. But let's, I'm just gonna undo from the bottom. You can just see how much drops out. Just that left in there. That's because I cut the straw a little bit shorter. So we got a little bit left there in the bottom. All I've gotta say is there is a lot of foam in here. You can kind of now see why I don't necessarily foam in here all the time, or I don't use as much foam as I used to. I can't foam it like I do outside in here. It just sprays everywhere, which is why I try to be a little more controlled when I'm in here. We're using like the Keeve nozzle instead of pressure, not putting as much foam, using an IK sprayer instead of a foam cannon sometimes, which is why I like resin cabinets, vinyl walls, vinyl ceiling. I can just wash it all down. Don't worry, this is DI spotless water I'm using right now on the shells and everything, so there won't be any spots. So there you go, the RealYou version 2 or the ultimate version 3 of everything. This is pretty good. I just don't like the color. I would love it if Raincovo came out with it. If they do, I won't re-review it unless something changes, but I want it just for the color scheme. I don't like this green. I could go back to Raincovo and just change out this cap, but then that won't look right either. But it works really well, and people like to do things like this. You should read the comments of the videos. There's an overwhelming majority that like the idea and wanted it to be improved, and they improved it. So, I mean, just those select few that always have to mouth off. But those of you who are saying stuff and being constructive without being insulting, perfectly fine. Everybody has their way of doing things. Not everything is done the exact same way. But is it worth it? I think it works pretty well. If you haven't bought any of the other ones, you've been waiting, maybe now's the time. I don't know stock-wise what's going to go on, but this is what they should have released in the first place. So there you go. Don't forget to check the links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Because it says it comes with a 1.1 and 1.25, but they both blah, 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 blah. pretty decent when it comes to the adjust. Oh, that's not adjusting. Oh yeah, it is. You dumbass. I mean, it works. Oh, golly, my knees. Oh my gosh. I was rinsing out the vents right here. There's a dang toad in the vent. He must like DI water. He was in this vent right here. And I was spraying it down. It wasn't coming off. I'm like, what is that? Is that a leaf? It was a dang on toad, frog, something. All right, we're outside. My grass right now is kind of like carpet. Maybe he likes carpet. Are you out? No, he doesn't want to get off. There you go, bud. You hang out there. Hey, little guy. This is his first foam. I had the door open over here so I can get this wide view. This is his first look at foam. He's like, I don't know. I don't know.